Atiku is still keeping hope alive, hoping that with the release of Tinubu's admission records in Chicago State University, that the Supreme Court in Nigeria will be forced to do the right thing. Yes, immediately the appeal court delivered judgment on the presidential election petition, Atiku quickly applied to the U.S. District Court in Chicago for expedited hearing, that time is running out for him to present the new information as evidence at the Supreme Court in Nigeria. Before we see how the court decided in Chicago, people should understand that this is not in any way trying to give anybody hope. What happened in Nigeria on the 6th of September 2023 was a travesty of justice. The justices turned the law upside down, and now that copies of the judgment have been released, there are many instances where they contradicted themselves. If you would like to watch a thorough analysis of these contradictions, indicate in the comment. There's no need spending time and research to make a video that people won't watch. Yes, a lot of people were discouraged. They are not happy about the delivery of the injustice. This wasn't justice. So many people might not be interested to watch anything that is related to the judgment anymore. So if you want to watch, signify in the comment section. If it gets traction, we'll make it in another video. Now to how the court reacted immediately they received the application from Atiku. The judge quickly moved the date for hearing closer to 12th of September 2023 instead of the initial 15th September 2023. The judge also brought closer the date that he initially ordered Chicago State University to file their objections to the release of academic records and admission records of Tinubu. According to the judge, it was because of exigent circumstances. He said, upon further reflection in light of the exigent circumstances presented by the application, and to account for the possibility of any appeal of the court's ruling. In Atiku's application, he made the court to understand that he has only 14 days to file for the appeal at the Supreme Court. It is very important that Atiku frontloads the evidence while making his appeal so that they won't accuse him of not filing it ab initio. Yes, technicality featured mostly in the injustice that the appeal court justices delivered. Let the disgrace be piling up, not that something good will come out of it, but the more they pile up the evidence against Tinubu, the more shameful whatever they are going to conjure at the Supreme Court will become. By the way, Chicago State University are not arguing that they don't want to produce the documents demanded by Atiku. They are just arguing against the scope. Yes, the scope of documents Atiku once provided is very massive. They feel that they might not serve a purpose in court, but that's not the aim of Atiku. His objective is to prove the real identity of Tinubu. This is not alleged. No one knows anything about him beyond 1970. Yes, there's no records of him anywhere with the same name, except maybe he changed his name. So getting the admission records will prove the primary school he attended, the secondary school he attended. First of all, they must see the secondary school. Then they can approach the school. In that school, if they get the records, they will see the primary school he attended. That's how it works. You can't get admitted into a university without presenting a secondary school leaving certificate. Even if he somehow got admitted to the university without attending a secondary school, at least let's find that out. It's an information that can be seen from the school admission records. If it shows that he didn't attend any secondary school, then no problems. It's just like in Nigeria, you can't get admitted in a university without providing your secondary school and your JAMB. It is the JAMB that actually posts you to a particular university of your choice. So all these records will prove the real identity of Bola Tinubu. Coming to the other documents, he will use them to prove that he actually attended classes. When Atiku gets these records, it will truly prove that yes, it is this person that got admitted and it is the same person that graduated from the same university. For those who don't know the backstory, Tinubu has been plagued with certificate forgeries, claiming schools he didn't attend. All his political life has been scandal after scandal. And going by the Nigerian constitution, anyone that forges a certificate must be disqualified from the office he's seeking. Atiku Abubakar, being a candidate in the past presidential election, is seeking these records in order to use that to disqualify him in court. Like already said, you can't find any history about this man before 1970. Why doesn't it exist? The most likely reason is because he must have changed his name. What is that his former name? That's what people want to know. That former name he used to go by, which secondary school did he attend with that name? Which primary school did he attend with that name? Where was he born? Who were his parents? A lot of questions. You can't have such an unknown person holding a public office. And if he truly changed his name, there was a reason he did that. He took up someone else's identity. This was revealed by the same Chicago State University themselves when they responded to a subpoena from a Nigerian lawyer. And going by the information contained in the documents they gave to the Nigerian lawyer, the person that was admitted to Chicago State University was a female. All this burden that Atiku is bearing today, he's the one paying his attorneys in the Chicago District Court. All the runaround, all the investigation is just too much for a presidential candidate. If all the institutions of government did their jobs, like the Independent Electoral Commission, even his political party, if they truly screened all candidates very well before accepting them to run for the presidential primaries, it would have saved all candidates and everyone a lot of money. It is commendable that Honorable Justice Gilbert of the District Court in Chicago understands the urgency and importance of these documents to Atiku's appeal. Whether the Supreme Court justices will disqualify him based on the information or not, the most important thing is that this information is out there, that people know that truly he wasn't the one that was admitted in Chicago State University. That's the most important thing that Atiku is seeking. Despite all the evidence that was tendered at the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal, the Honorable Justices trashed all of them based on technicality. Now, when this bombshell information will be released, they will have to contend with more evidence. Will the Supreme Court justices continue to say that they did not front-load it with their petition when they filed at the appeal court? Will they validate someone who might have committed identity theft? Yes, if the documents prove that truly he wasn't the one that was admitted but surprisingly graduated from the same university, will they validate that? Yes, judicial permutations are very easy when the justices follow the law, when they interpret the law to the letter. But in Nigeria, anything can happen. They can turn it upside down. They can tell you, this is the reason this white ceases to be white again, that is no longer white, that is now black. They will tell you everything to make it black, although you are seeing it white before your korokoro eyes. So we keep you updated after the hearing on Tuesday in Chicago to know how all parties argued. Whether they argued in favor or not, the judge must make his order immediately. And if everything turns out positive, Chicago State University must quickly submit those documents to Atiku. And Atiku is expected to call a press conference immediately. This one is not about filing to go to court. He would like to capitalize on the new information, make it public. He might even go as far as inviting international press to cover, to give it a wide coverage. This might force shame on some people, although you can't shame the shameless, but there's no harm in trial. One last thing is that the appeal court judges have proved Nigerians right. In the beginning, many people didn't want to trust them. They didn't believe in their integrity. Even when the presiding judge said that they would decide all matters based on merit, they ended up doing what? Deciding all matters based on technicality. Imagine knocking off 10 witnesses just because they were subpoenaed by the same court. Is that possible? So what they're saying is that any witness that comes under subpoena is no longer a witness of the court. Wonders shall never end.